So 2 weeks ago, Sunday, anyways, Game of Thrones came out, and it seems like everybody was waiting for this show, and it finally came, and I don't think anybody was really disappointed because it started off with a bang. A whole bunch of things happened. You got to see Arya and the hounds fight in the bar where she gets her sword back. You got to see Jaime and Cersei have it out. You got to see Tyrion getting snubbed by Dorne. You also got introduced to some new characters.
I have a feeling that these Game of Thrones vlogs are just going to be me being like, they're my favorite character. No, they're my favorite character. Because we get to meet Prince Oberyn, who is now my favorite character. But
we don't know what that means.
He's gonna die. Dorne, I'm really, really excited to see more of the characters from Dorne because they've been pretty much just name dropped throughout the rest of the series. But it was him and his consort. And so his brother is the king in Dorne, and he hasn't come because offending the Lannisters, and so he sends his younger brother, who's all like, oh, I have the Lannisters aren't the only ones who are going to pay their debts, because the queen, Rhaegar Targaryen's wife, before he like ran off with, not really ran off with, like stole the Stark girl, was from Dorne, and this guy's sister, and she was brutally raped and murdered by the mountain that rides, and so he's just like, oh, the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts. I'm coming for you.
Yeah. I just, like, it was really nice to just have the series back again, with all those familiar faces, and of course you're cheering on those characters, you're like, yes, I love you, and then you're trying to kill those characters in your mind that you hate, like Joffrey. Still a fan favorite for a brutal death, hopefully. Yeah, I really love seeing Brienne. Who else? The Roses.
Loras and Marjorie.
I love Marjorie, and I love the Queen of Thorns.
She's like the best person in the whole thing.
Whenever she's on screen, you're just so happy because she's just comic relief, but she's so wonderful.
Her power play was amazing. Where she's just like, she gets all of her handmaids to try and find a necklace for Marjorie for the wedding, and she's just like, oh, go to all of the jewelers and people and bring back the prettiest necklace, and the girl who brings back the prettiest necklace gets to keep the second prettiest. And you gotta stop and think about that. She's basically just like stopped all of like these jewelers from working for anyone else. She's screwed over all of the ladies in King's Landing. It's like a screw you to Cersei. And it's just showing her control. And I love her.
And she does it so nicely, too, because the girls are like, yeah, sure, this sounds fine, let's go. Right? So, you got to see Brienne wandering around, Sansa Stark swanning around, being a bit of a bitch.
Well, I can't,
you can't really blame her, but just when it comes to Tyrion, you're like...
Well, you also gotta, okay.
I understand her point of view, but then I'm like, poor guy.
Yeah,
like,
we have the omnipresent point of view that we know that Tyrion's a decent human being, but for her, he's just another one of those Lannisters.
Game of Thrones is up and running and going, and we're slowly watching it. I tend to procrastinate because I like it so much. It's a very weird thing I do. I love it so much that I can't let it end. Anyways, so we will see you with our next vlog sometime probably in the next 2 weeks, as soon as I watch the episode.
Game of Thrones!
Bye, guys.